At the highest competitive levels, Model United Nations operates as a professional training ground for diplomacy. Success in this environment requires the technical rigor and historical consistency expected of real-world policy analysts. To reach that standard, you need a systemic approach. This video details a 5-part playbook for asserting control over committee dynamics and engineering final resolutions. Before entering the room, you must secure 3 specific baselines: your country's core interests, the legal mandate of your assigned committee, and the freeze date. This historical cutoff is critical. Citing events that occur after this date undermines your credibility with the chair. Earning a Best Delegate award relies less on individual rhetorical flair and more on your ability to execute a comprehensive institutional strategy. Your first step is building a policy foundation that survives scrutiny. Avoid general search engines and focus your research on the UN Digital Library and the official document system to map your country's specific diplomatic history. This electronic voting board shows the final tally, but the real intelligence lies in the explanations of vote, or EOVs. These records provide the official rationale behind every diplomatic stance. Tracking your nation's EOVs in the 12 months leading up to your committee's freeze date provides you with a bulletproof policy defense. You must also master the mechanics of funding. Generic proposals for World Bank aid often fail. Instead, elite delegates study the UN's 5th Committee and point to specific discretionary budgets approved by the ACABQ. Grounding your arguments in documented EOVs and defined ACABQ funding streams makes your position structurally immune to substantive attacks on the floor. Step 2 utilizes the rules of procedure to control the room. This begins at rule call. Responding present rather than present and voting maintains your flexibility to abstain. During close votes, an abstention lowers the threshold required for a resolution to pass, giving you a powerful tactical lever. You can steer the committee away from the broad general speakers list by motioning for a moderated caucus. By setting a precise topic and speaking time, you force the entire room to focus on your specific sub-agenda. To maximize impact during your 60-second speaking window, use the CIA method. Start with the clash to identify the disagreement at hand, provide information via 3 to 5 hard statistics, and conclude with a clear, actionable solution. Use points of information to keep your agenda at the center of the room. You can use them to cross-examine an opponent's research or ask an ally a leading question that grants them extra speaking time to reinforce your coalition's goals. Mastery of these procedural rules allow you to dictate exactly what the room is allowed to debate, establishing the parameters of the discussion before your opponents can react. Step 3 is building a voting majority. During unmoderated caucuses, use a one-liner stance, a 10-second pitch of your policy, to rapidly identify potential allies and form a coalition. Manage your coalition using the 3 rings model. The inner ring consists of the primary architects and strategists who negotiate the high-level details of the resolution. The second ring serves as your active support. These delegates draft the technical clauses and ensure the coalition's various national interests are reflected in the document. The third ring provides the votes and legitimacy. Because these delegates are less involved in drafting, they are easily poached by rivals. You can prevent defection by assigning them small drafting wins or naming them as official sponsors. Committee power belongs to the architect, who can maintain the loyalty of this third ring, ensuring a cohesive voting bloc when the resolution hits the floor. Step 4 is drafting the final document. A common error is mandate overreach, such as a General Assembly delegate attempting to impose binding military sanctions. Under the UN Charter, that specific power belongs exclusively to the Security Council. Your operative clauses require precise syntax. Replace vague goals like helping fund hospitals with active verbs and specific mechanisms, such as urges the WHO to establish medical hubs via public-private partnerships. Understand the distinction between your partners. Sponsors are the primary authors committed to voting for the resolution, while signatories simply wish to see the document debated and are not bound to a specific vote. Adhering to these strict legal boundaries ensures your political strategy survives the scrutiny of the final voting procedure. Step 5 applies to crisis committees. Here, you represent an individual with specific portfolio powers, such as a minister of finance or an intelligence director, rather than a whole country. This requires a dual-track strategy, using public directives to influence the committee floor while executing secret crisis notes to the backroom staff. To ensure your secret actions are implemented, every note must be mechanized. You must provide the who, what, where, when, why, and how to ensure the backroom staff follows your specific instructions. Use a sequence of notes to build a crisis arc. For example, a minister of finance could quietly manipulate interest rates to fund a private militia while publicly advocating for an economic stimulus package. Mechanizing your portfolio notes allows you to drive the simulation's narrative rather than simply reacting to it. This completed system integrates database research, the CIA speech structure, ACABQ funding, the three-ring strategy, and mechanized crisis arcs. Applying these steps transforms your role in the room, moving you from a participant to a visionary who controls the pace of the committee. Review the list of active UN verbs, print your playbook, and apply these strategies in your next session. Subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns of diplomatic strategy. Model UN is a flight simulator for real-world leadership. Mastering its technicalities provides the foundational skills needed to navigate the complexities of global governance.